second-degree assault. We just came out of the courthouse in downtown Baltimore here, where Judge Barry Williams acquitted Officer Edward Nero of all 4 charges against him in relation to the arrest of Freddie Gray. Those charges were second-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and 2 counts of misconduct in office. The charges were related to Officer Nero's involvement in Mr. Gray's arrest, the assault charge, and 1 of the misconduct in office charges, both of which Officer Nero has been acquitted of, were related to his involvement in Mr. Gray's initial detention and stop. Essentially what the judge today found in acquitting Officer Nero was that Officer Nero's involvement in that stop was secondary, that he was on the scene, but that Officer Garrett Miller, another one of the 6 officers charged in this case, and an officer who testified at Nero's trial, was actually the one who detained and handcuffed Mr. Gray. In finding that, he essentially removed Nero from that process and said it was clearly Officer Miller who was involved in that. On the associated misconduct charge, the judge found that the actions of Officer Nero were those of a reasonable officer. He found that the officer's actions were not corrupt, which is one of the standards for a misconduct in office charge. So again, Officer Nero acquitted on both of those charges. The second set of charges, the reckless endangerment charge and the second misconduct in office charge, were both related to a second stop of the van in which Mr. Gray was placed. At that stop, the state alleged that Officer Nero was reckless in assisting his superior officer, Lieutenant Brian Rice, in placing Mr. Gray inside of the police transport van in leg shackles and handcuffs, but not in a seatbelt. And in terms of the misconduct charge, again, the judge found that Officer Nero acted reasonably, that his actions were not corrupt, which is the standard of misconduct in office. And so the judge acquitted Officer Nero on both of those charges as well. So again, all 4 charges against Officer Nero were found to be, he was found to be not guilty. All of the officers, including Porter, are now scheduled to be tried in the coming months, essentially now through October. But this is the first verdict, and it was not guilty on all 4 charges.
Okay, let's have a look at you.
You're not looking at me.
Hmm?
You said let's have a look at you, but you're not looking at me.
I am examining you.
On your computer?
It's the only way to prove that you've been seen.
You're not looking at me to prove you're looking at me?
Well, yes. Smoker?
No. You're still not looking at me.
You should just honestly go up to the betting window with a little bit of confidence. I know a lot of the times when you're standing in line, you think that there's people who know what they're doing in front of you and behind you, and it can be a little bit intimidating, but all you have to do is go up to the window. If you have questions, ask them. Ask people around you as well. You know, it's not that intimidating. We have several different ways that you can bet. The